How's it going, all you shrunken heads out there? This is Brother Voodoo, and welcome to the very first ever episode of the VooduCast. Now, today I'm going to be discussing what the show's about, who's going to be joining me, what we're going to discuss, and we're just going to have a little bit of fun with it. So, kick back and enjoy. Alright, first episode, here we go. So, this episode is basically going to be me talking about what the show is and who's going to join me and things like that. So, the first thing is I want to apologize if there's any outside noise because I'm recording in my room in my apartment. That's the first thing. But let's get on to the basically the questions here. So why a podcast on YouTube? I've had plans before to do a podcast where I discuss things like anime and similar things like that with some friends of mine. However, it never really took off. We didn't ever get a chance to discuss any of this or record it or anything like that. The first idea was, like I said, anime. I enjoy talking about it. I've had some friends that back when I was in college, we would go walk around and we would just stay up all night just walking around the campus talking about anime, talking about One Piece. Something else we would discuss is video games, movies, music, basically anything pop culture. Pretty much the exact same thing I'm going to discuss here. We're going to be talking about video games, we're going to be talking about movies, music, all that stuff. And basically it's more of, I just enjoy talking with my friends about this stuff, and I feel like maybe if somebody hears something that we discussed and they hear us talk about it as passionately as we do, then maybe they will get into it and enjoy it just like we do. So who are these friends that I keep talking about? Well, they're basically my co-hosts for the show. They are my good friends Doom and Don. To kind of give a little background of these people, Doom is somebody that I met in community college. We've been to a Comic-Con together. We've talked about movies more than anything. One of the big ones we like to discuss is like the Jay and Silent Bob series, the Aliens series, like Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's a really big one for us. Like we really like that. So my other co-host Don is somebody I met when I was at University of Southern Miss. He's one of my best friends from that time in my life. And, so like I said, we're going to talk about games, music, movies, honestly, whatever we feel like. If it's something that catches our attention, we're probably going to talk about it. We've got one episode in the works about the Valerian series. I'm also I might make some short episodes about video games, maybe longer. It all depends on what we feel like discussing. The one that I'm probably going to talk during the most of, though, is the anime section. Like whenever we start talking about anime, that's probably when I'm gonna get into it a lot more. Most of the time I'm just gonna be a moderator and let my friends discuss it. The more about myself, the name is not a Marvel reference. I actually didn't even know that it was a character. I was actually just kind of looking up some things just to see if what was copywritten and what wasn't and stuff like that. This name has some familial significance for me, but I didn't want to risk it, so I changed the spelling a little bit. Also, the voodoo with the movies, I just thought it was a nice little thing. I enjoy movies. And so my brother, since I mentioned the familial link here, my brother's been using the name Dr. Voodoo as his PSN name for a long time. I don't know how long, but it's been many years. And his wife started using a name similar, and we all just kind of started making it an inside joke with the family that it just used the voodoo tag for the family. Like, I'm Brother Voodoo, his wife is Mrs. Voodoo, my sister is Sister Voodoo, and so on, things like that. So my full name, because this will probably be brought up eventually, not my full name, but my first and my middle name. My name is Steven Tyler, and if you know me, you know my last name. If not, you might hear it every once in a while. But no, I'm not named after the lead singer of Aerosmith. And the reason the reason I'm telling you this is I go by many different names. I've got people that'll call me Steve. My family calls me Tyler. My family calls me Steven. So earlier I mentioned my two co-hosts were friends that I met in college. So for about 2.5 years I went to community college, and that's where I met Doom. We just we hit it off. We were pretty good friends. We didn't have any issues that other people would. We got along. We really enjoyed comics. We enjoyed Monty Python. Anyway, I decided to move up. I decided to go to a university, and that's where I met my best friend Don. I went to Southern Miss, and we met in front of the cafeteria. I was standing behind him and his roommate. I just kind of overheard them talking about video games and stuff, and I wasn't sure. I was like, you know what? These guys sound pretty cool. They sound like they're going to be some people that I might want to hang out with. So I decided to mention to them that Southern Miss has a game room, and I mentioned to him, I was like, hey, they got a game room right down here, and I didn't know this, but his roommate was actually is in his second or third year there. So of course they knew about it. But anyway, we all decided to hang out, and we hung out for a little bit, and his roommate brought up that he had some friends that they all used to play Dungeons and Dragons together. I was like, oh, hey, I remember that. I'm a nerd. I play Dragons and Dungeons. And we all decided to hang out, and somehow we all became friends. And Don and I we hit it off. We're best friends. I'm eventually, hopefully, planning on moving down to move in with him, but that's a completely different story. So both of my co-hosts they're college graduates. I am not. I am a dropout, but I didn't drop out because of grades or anything like that. I started getting burned out. The upcoming plans are, like I mentioned earlier, there's that episode on Valerian that we're going to work on. But there's also an episode about some anime I'm thinking about. Maybe some slice of life stuff. I don't like planning that far ahead. So there is an episode coming out that is going to be a scary episode. Well, I say scary. It's going to be about ghosts and stuff. It's for the Halloween people. So keep your eyes out for that. And I will talk to you all next time on the VooduCast.